And now it's time for Ask Roz and Mocha.
All right, here we go. Ask Roz and Mocha time. Love this podcast. Let's get right into it. Hello, Grace. Welcome to the podcast. Your name looks very familiar. I see it pop up on IG all the time in the comment section. And you've been on the podcast before, right?
I have, yes.
All right. Well, welcome back. It's good to talk to you. What is your question?
Okay, so, oh my gosh, now I just lost. Okay, Maria.
Yes, hi.
So when you first, hi, how are you? Welcome to the Kiss family.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So when you first started working at Kiss, which of Roz, Mocha, Maury, or Shem did you find most intimidating?
Okay, I would guess most intimidating, I'd say, is Roz.
Why?
Why?
Because I feel like Roz was very hard for me to read at first. I wasn't sure if he either was kind of trying to get feels for me, trying to see what my vibe was, but obviously I respect everybody as professionals, and I've always looked up to these guys before I joined the show. So I found that a little bit intimidating because I wasn't sure. He's also grilling me over the camera right now. I don't know what to
Hey, why are you looking like that, bro?
You mugger.
I'm like,
I'm letting the woman finish.
yeah. No, I would say Roz is the most intimidating because I found that he was hard to read. I didn't know how he read myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that what you thought she was going to say, Grace?
Yes, I did, actually.
Okay, great. I don't think anybody's surprised with that answer.
For the same reasons that Maria gave, or did you have a different reason?
I probably the same reasons, but, I've listened to the show for such a long time. So Roz, as you know, is my favorite. But
Nobody
I can
asked,
see how intimidating it can be. Yeah, it can be intimidating. But, his heart is in the right place, Roz. So, yeah.
Thank you. Yes, I would say that. I would say that for the most part, my heart is in the right place.
Always
Of course.
Always is. But I think that I have always, because I've heard this before from people, just interns that we used to have at ET Canada that were then hired on years later, where they were, they would have these exact same conversations with me. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's that I'm not a very, for this business, inviting individual.
Okay.
When it comes to my demeanor.
Sure.
Right? I don't portray somebody who wants to be chatted up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You don't need new friends.
Yeah, I don't need new friends.
Welcome to the team. Right?
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. Let's all win.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'll be in my dressing room.
Now, but I will say this in my defense. I feel that I've done enough, right?
By saying hello on the first day?
I always feel that I've done enough. Well, no, because Maria was hired. If Maria was an intern, I probably still wouldn't know her name because and it's not that I don't appreciate interns. I very much do appreciate interns.
Yeah.
But their turnover is so fast that it's very difficult for me to remember somebody's name. But no, I felt that when Maria started that I had done more than enough, actually. If this might be shocking for you to hear, Maria, but I felt I was over-accommodating and overly sort of welcoming.
Wow, you were still welcoming. You still were.
Right.
Just, there were moments where you were very quiet and I was like, okay, I think he's still trying to feel me out.
Oh, wow. Damn. Well, there you go. You got your answer, Grace, and it was pretty much what you thought.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you for being on the podcast again.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a great day, guys.
All right.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Oksana says here, question for Roz.
Yeah.
We know that Caillou was at Wild Night at the Bookstore.
Right.
Do you think they came out to your most recent book signing?
Caillou, by the way, the troll that has been trolling me for 12 years, I think now, 11 or 12 years, who pretends to be Caillou, both on social and on the show, and they write parody songs.
Claiming that you are their dad.
Right. We didn't need to go that far. We could just say they're a troll.
Weird. Yeah.
It's super weird, dude. And then we found out because I got a letter from like a card. Somebody gave me a card.
Please tell me you kept that card.
I
kept
still
it,
have
right?
the card.
Okay.
Yeah, of course I did. Somebody gave me a card, and it was a beautifully written card. Like they said wonderful stuff and how they'd gone through something with their dad and everything else. But certain letters in the card were like They went over it like 9 times with a pen, just certain letters. And if you picked out all of those letters and wrote them all out, it read, I am Caillou.
Yeah, genius.
Right?
Wow. That's some real stalker stuff right there.
Right?
Yeah.
Super stalker stuff.
But hilarious.
Do I think Caillou was at the book reading that I did last week? I don't think so, because I think that if Caillou was there, they would have done something like this again. You know what I mean? Like, I think that just that kind of opportunity, I don't know they would have passed it up to kind of like leave another clue. Right. Also, we took a picture of that whole room. I made sure of it.
Oh,
yep. We have just in case.
Yeah.
There's a picture of from up high of every single face in that room staring at the same camera. Just in case.
You got one of them boards then.
Yes.
In the basement with string going across to every person.
Yes, I do.
Only murders in the building style.
Yep.
Let's see here. Mel says, do you guys consider yourselves a celebrity?
Yeah, I think other people do for sure. But what does that mean though, right? What does that mean?
I think by comparison to like other celebrities, no.
Okay,
I would say popular.
But no. You have to understand what that means though. It's not, you're not going to, you're not comparing yourself to the absolute height of what celebrity can achieve. I think that when it comes to celebrity, there's boxes that you would check off to determine whether or not you are in fact one. It's not something that you've achieved. It's just simple. It's almost mathematics at that point.
Like I could walk down the street and go grab a coffee and have 0 people say anything to me compared to someone like...
But so can Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I guess he could. Yeah, sure. I was going to say The Rock. He can't do that.
It's about boxes being checked. But then when you get into the rock world or like the Taylor Swift world, like that's like they can't leave the house, right? But I think that when it comes to like what is a celebrity, I think that it's just a matter of boxes being checked, right? Like, like I've done events before where I've been the celebrity judge. I mean, I'm not going to say no.
Right.
Because I don't think that way. You just sort of are in that world or you're not in that world.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Like,
right?
By comparison is based on who you compare it to.
Right. Yeah. So I would say without sounding like a complete jackass, I would say yes.
Yeah.
Right?
You guys are
I would
celebs.
say yes.
Yeah. You guys are definitely celebs.
Like we say we're doing a public thing. Like we were just talking about the book signing, right? Like when we did the book signing, and somebody reminded me of this last week. Like when we did the book signing, the Wild Night at the Bookstore, the only other person who has ever come close in this city to do a book signing at that place that was the size of what we pulled off was Bruce Springsteen.
All right. So that's the bar.
Right? People keep reminding me of that who are still to this day blown away.
Shut that place down.
Right? So yes, and I don't feel weird saying that.
And Shem been telling me about like his recent going out scenario situations. Like you get stopped like crazy now.
Yeah, look, I don't have the same sort of recognition that you guys have, obviously, but I found the last couple of months, literally every single time I go out, I run into a fan from the show. Yeah. Every single time.
Yes.
And they always, the first thing they go is like, Roz Mocha.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm neither, but yes, I do work on the show. But yeah, it's incredible. I was at the Raptors game over the weekend and ran into 3 sets of fans, 3 different occasions of fans.
Oh, nice.
Like you just see people when they see Maury on the street.
Yeah, they freak out, right?
They freak out.
Matthew gets stopped now without me even being with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because
does he hate it?
No, he loves it.
Does he hate it?
I was waiting for you to say that. He loves it.
Yeah,
so when he goes out, does he like make sure that he does his hair and he's wearing like clean clothes and stuff just in case?
He made sure he did my hair and everything when I got hit by a car before he came out. So yes.
Oh, that's right. You got hit by a car. You walked into a car.
And barely.
And then sued and you got a coat.
And I like massage.
Like what a story. And before Matthew came out, he got ready, right?
Yes, he got changed. He did his hair, brushed his teeth.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I'm on the ground.
Yeah, and Maury's like,
wow,
like.
Damn. Charmaine says here, was there ever a pop culture topic that you hated covering but had to based on what was trending?
I don't think we have ever done something on this show that we felt we had to do.
The Octomom?
No, but I'm interested in that. We've literally never done something on this show.
Anything that was popular at the time, we talked about it because we were interested in the story or the way the story was developing or anything like that. But we've never had to like cover a story and be like, oh man, we have to talk about this because everyone else is or whatever.
No, and I will say this, that I've only within the last little while, like maybe like 2 years or so, I only started doing Kardashian stories in like the last 2 years.
I know.
Like during the height of that first show on E, never once mentioned the Kardashians or that show on this show.
Out.
I never once mentioned it.
That one season when they were in New York, the Chris Humphries days?
No, I never.
That was a spicy season.
Yeah, never once mentioned it. But it was interesting because I would always do this show and then go up and do ET Canada, and it was always interesting of what we discussed on this show compared to what they wanted to do on that show. And there was a lot of stuff that they would go hard with on that show that I was like, guys, what are you doing? And like, we just would not touch it. Like, it was boring. And or neither of us were interested in it. But I think that whatever we talk about on this show, either Mocha and I have to have an interest in it. Otherwise, nobody will believe what we're saying.
Right. Like football.
Like football, right.
Ashley says here, does Roz's throat ever hurt when asking Mocha if he's ready?
Oh, yo.
Whoa, context, man.
Come on. You can't just say that.
That's what Ashley wrote, though.
Oh.
Does Roz's throat ever hurt when asking Mocha if he's ready?
No.
Obviously referencing to do the news.
Yeah, yes. And my throat would hurt from yelling, let's do the news, not asking if you're ready.
Those hundreds of thousands of times saying, are you ready?
I mean, if we're going to go down that road, the question should be, does Mocha's throat ever hurt when I ask him if he's ready?
Shut up, man.
Right? Like,
okay.
No is the answer to that stupid question.
Time to move on.
Right?
Okay. Dallas says here. You guys are children. Yes. Dallas says here, what is your most rewatched movie?
Damn it, Maury, go.
Devil Wears Prada. I watched it again over the weekend.
How many times do you think that you've watched it? Realistically, think that you've watched it?
Realistically, I would say probably 40 or 50 times.
40 or 50.
Second place is 13 going on 30.
And how many times have you watched that?
I would say like 30 or 40 times.
So what is it about Devil Wears Prada that you just
I loved it. I can put it on.
Again? Yeah.
Matthew, the beginning song, Matthew instantly knows what it is, and then we start quoting the movie together.
Really? It's one of those?
Yeah.
Damn.
Maria, do you have an answer for this?
Yes, I have like two.
Go.
Shrek.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And
but but you watched that when you were a kid, though, right?
yeah, I still watch it now.
What about? Oh, you do? You'll put Shrek on?
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Okay, that counts. That counts. If you still watch it in your adult life, it still counts.
Oh yeah, I put it on. Yeah, Donkey. I love it. Oh my god.
And
just go with it.
Who's
in
just
that
go
one?
with it?
With Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston.
Wait, what?
Really?
Yeah, it's
That's
like
a
one of
weird
my
one.
favorite movies. It's just an easy watch.
What's it about?
It's about like Adam Sandler. He like never gets married, and then he wears his wedding ring around to like get girls.
Yeah.
Does he work at a sporting goods store?
No, he's a
2011.
plastic surgeon.
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston works for
I like
him.
this. I like this movie. I love those two together.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think I've rewatched that more than a couple times.
Oh, I love it. I watch it all the time.
Really, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that Brooklyn Decker was in this one, right? She was the girl with the bikini. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Hey. So you want, is this like a rewatch solo or you and your boyfriend?
With anyone. Like, to be honest, just go with it. My best friend and I watched it all the time together.
Okay.
But now I just watch it alone.
And what about Shrek?
Shrek, I'll make people watch it with me.
Nice.
Wow.
Shem, what's your answer?
I actually don't rewatch movies
At all?
At all.
Huh.
I don't. Like, and if I've started to watch a movie and I realize I've watched, I'll turn it right off.
Really?
Even if I like it. Yeah, I don't. I don't see the point in rewatching movies. I really don't.
And you just like watch something else that you've never seen before?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't.
wow.
I make a real point not to. Same thing with TV shows, which is, I know, strange.
But what about when you were a kid? Like, you never had like a favorite movie that you watched a couple times? Like Star Wars or anything like that? Or?
Barney and Friends. Like, I used to have the VHS tapes of that. And
But that's
rewatch
that
that.
doesn't
It's not the
count,
same,
though.
right?
Doesn't
I know you're a
count.
fan of The Office. So you watched,
Once.
for example, Dinner Party episode, and you will never go back to that episode.
So I was gonna say The Office is the rare sort of it's the exception.
Yeah.
Okay.
It really is the exception to my rule.
Okay.
Yeah, I love The Office.
So when I was younger, I don't even, like early junior high, like grade 6 kind of thing. I had a buddy who just had an unlimited amount of VHSs. And so I would go to his house after school all the time. And we spent about a year where every day after school, we went and watched Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, wow.
Right? So
Every day?
Every day.
The full movie or just like you watched a little bit?
The full movie, and then I'd go home for dinner kind of thing.
Wow.
But we'd always watch it, right? Because there was just tons of killing, and there's like boobs at one point, and like all this stuff. It was just awesome, right? Like Conan the Barbarian was just so great. But also at that time, like all those R-rated sex comedies, like Porky's, Revenge of the Nerds.
Yep.
Like we would just one of those would just go on all the time, like every weekend. Like you would go to a sleepover, and it was always, what are we going to watch? Like Porky's, Revenge of the Nerds, Private School, like all those sort of old teen sex comedies. So I've seen all those things like 40 and 50 times each.
Wow.
But I would say that Conan the Barbarian is probably like my number one, and then
Not even Rocky?
And then no, because the first Rocky I wasn't introduced to the first Rocky until after I watched Rocky 3, right? I was introduced to Rocky and Rocky 3, then I went back and watched them. But the only one that even comes close to the amount of times that I watched Conan the Barbarian
Devil Wears Prada
is Karate Kid.
Oh, classic. Yeah.
Yeah, Karate Kid. That's probably my number, like my close number 2.
Then Devil Wears Prada.
No, Maury.
God.
I know. How many times are you going to say that? Mocha.
It would have to be either Goodfellas, Back to the Future, or Star Wars.
So realistically, like with Maury said realistically, like 40, 50 times for Devil Wears Prada. Realistically for you, how many times have you seen Back to the Future?
Like in the double digits, but I don't think like 40 or 50.
No?
Nah.
Oh,
like
wow.
maybe 12, 13.
Really?
I think. Sure. Yeah.
God. True Romance is a movie that I've probably seen about 25 times.
Who's in that one?
Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette, and it was the one that Quentin Tarantino wrote but didn't direct. So it's a Quentin Tarantino movie, basically. Yeah. Michael, what's the
Gary Oldman?
No. Ridley Scott, his brother, Tony Scott. Tony Scott directed it, and when
what's it called?
True Romance.
Okay.
And it's an amazing movie because the dialogue is all Tarantino dialogue. And then when Quentin Tarantino wrote that script, he wrote it like a Tarantino movie. So it was all out of sequence, right? And then Tony Scott got the script and he was going to direct the movie. And the first thing he did was put it all back in regular order.
Oh, shoot. Tarantino must have been pissed.
Right? So, but he couldn't say anything because it wasn't his movie. He didn't direct it. Right? He just wrote it.
Okay,
so Tony
1993.
Scott just put it all back in the right order. And then, so it's weird because it very much sounds and feels like a Tarantino movie, but only it doesn't have the pacing, right? It's all in chronological order.
Reading his biography, I think that's the movie he wrote as a school project.
True Romance?
Yeah,
Really?
and gave it away.
Who? Tarantino?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Next up here, let's see. Charmaine says, "Can Dammit Maury give me a review of his snail mucin skincare?"
I've stopped using it.
Why? Is am I saying that right?
Sure. Well, I just
Mucin
call it
or-
snail cream.
Okay.
But it started like I'd put it on, and
Or is
would,
it mucus? Snail mucus?
mucus? Yeah.
Okay.
But it dries
didn't
me
say it
out.
right.
Like it's not. It's not moisturizing.
So what do you mean?
It tightens and dries.
Is it a firming cream?
Like it's a firming cream, but it does
exactly
Yeah,
what it's supposed to do.
So it's highly effective then is what you're saying.
No, but I thought it would also be moisturizing, and then it dries me out and it flakes.
How much are you putting on?
Do you exfoliate?
Like I wash
Look
my
at him.
face.
He doesn't exfoliate. This guy?
Because it's probably pulling all your dead skin off then.
Yeah, sure, but I put a lot of other night creams and day
Do
creams
people
on.
still exfoliate?
You should, yeah.
I do.
They
Yeah.
do. I thought that was just a 90s thing.
No.
Like the cabbage soup diet.
No.
I thought that was a fad.
Oh, I
wanna start doing
that people don't do anymore.
Shem, you exfoliate?
Nah, man. But, black don't crack. I'm good.
True. I hear you.
I do.
You do, huh?
Yes.
You exfoliate? With
Yeah.
what? Like, because I remember somebody sent me an exfoliating wash one day, and it felt like it had sand in it. I'm like, I'm not rubbing this all over my
Yeah.
body.
Oh, it's so nice.
That's what kills takes away the dead skin.
Yes, it's so nice. And
I'm
then when
not
you do it in
doing
your
that.
hands and stuff.
No.
Oh, man.
No, I'm
It's
not
Hands
so
doing
feel
it.
nice.
nice and soft.
No, I'm not rubbing that. It hurts. It hurts. You can't rub that all over. It hurts too much.
Not all over, just on your face, man.
On your face?
Yes.
No way I'm
Yeah.
rubbing that.
All that dead skin.
Think
Your
about how
face
much
will feel
younger
so
you'd
good
look.
after,
No,
yeah.
no, thank you.
Maria's right.
Not for me. Not for me. I like something. I like something soft. If I'm gonna rub that around. Not,
Shut up, boy. Stop getting excited.
Not scratchy. There's no.
He also said soft.
Shut up.
I am soft.
Nicholas says here, between the 5 of you, who would be most likely to run a marathon, and what would your time be?
Oh, Maria, definitely.
Yeah.
Right?
That's my
didn't
plan
you, like,
next year.
Here, I'll rank it. I'll rank it on who's most likely to run a marathon.
Okay, go.
Okay, I will rank it. I'm going to say most likely to run a marathon. I'm going to say Maria, number 1. I'm going to say Mocha, and we would never know about it.
Facts.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. 100%.
You don't even know.
No.
Maybe I did one already.
I know. We would never know. We would never know.
Yeah.
Because that is exactly the kind of thing that you would do and never once mention it on the show. Right?
Yeah.
Just because you know that Maury would be at the finish line telling you that you were number 612 or whatever you would come in.
What? Bruh.
You think you're going to win a marathon? No. And
I'm
then,
a retired athlete, guys.
And then I would say Shem, but Shem would only run a marathon because it would be his fitness goal.
Facts.
Because I think that Shem would be like, I need to start getting serious about my health and about my fitness, but I can't just do it because going to the gym, I need something long term to work towards.
Facts.
And I would say that would be Shem.
You know me well.
Yeah, and
He's
then
still across the finish line after me, though.
There's the medal.
There it is.
I would say that I don't know what the circumstances would be, right? I have no idea how I would wind up in this position, but I would say that I'm next on the line. I don't know why I would ever run a marathon. I don't know what would possess me to run a marathon. I have no idea. Maybe I'm just not there yet in my life. Then I would say Maury.
I would actually put you above Shem.
No
Roz.
chance. No chance.
Only reason why is if you had it in your mind that you wanted to run a marathon, I think you would take it super serious and you would really train and focus on nutrition and what it would take to get your body to that marathon level.
But I hate runners
Right.
and
so
running.
You're right. So Shem over Roz and Roz over Maury.
Right. And then
Yeah.
Maury, I don't know because Maury's an odd one because Maury does go to the gym, right?
Berries.
But Maury goes to we're not listen, man. Yeah, I'm going to say the gym. Okay, you can work out your side deal with berries and figure that out. I'm not giving them mentions. You can.
Thank you for just doing it.
Okay. But Maury is fine going to the gym. And not seeing any results because to him it's a social thing, right?
The camaraderie, right?
There is no camaraderie in running a marathon.
Sure.
That is a very individual, you challenging yourself type of event, and I don't think Maury would find any joy in that.
Get it? I'm last.
Yeah. But that's why I wanted to give a reason. I thought it was because you're out of shape.
No, I thought it was because of my disc hernia.
No, because running is lonely. Right. And I don't think that Maury would actively put himself in a place where he would be doing something that is lonely.
But maybe it'd be a good thing.
It might be a good thing. It doesn't mean it's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're running a marathon next year, Maria?
That's my plan.
Did
If
you
I
bust
can-
up your ankle earlier this year?
My knee
Oh,
is
your knee.
kind of turning inwards when I walk, but it's fine. So we're fixing that. And
Bionic knee.
yeah. So once that's fixed, I really want to do it.
How
next
many
year.
K?
Half marathon.
Okay.
First,
so not a marathon.
No, I need to do a half before I do a full.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 25K.
That's a
Okay.
lot.
That's still a lot, though.
Yeah,
That's a
I
lot
know.
of running.
Yeah.
If we were to all do a 1K, what's the order crossing the finish line?
Me, Maria, Shem, you, Maury.
I don't know.
That's accurate.
Wait, you think you would win?
Yeah. A 1K?
Oh no,
A
Maria's
1K?
Maria's
Yeah.
going with that, dude. It goes Maria, Mocha, myself, then Roz, then Maury.
No.
Actually, you know what?
I
I
don't
actually
know.
think Maury.
I don't know.
Actually think Maury beats you, Roz.
I think
No.
Yeah. I think Maury would be
Roz's
motivated.
strides are like two
I
Maury's.
think I honestly think that it would go Maria, Mocha, me,
Bruh,
Maury Shem.
you are out of your blasted mind if you think I'm going
Shem,
last.
and I'll tell you, the only reason why is I saw what 100 meters did to your body.
Yeah,
when
on
you,
the floor, son.
when you
Hurts.
raced Mocha. No, but you weren't. It's not that it looked like you went through a car wash. Like your body was so broken and wet at the end of 100 meters.
Yeah.
I would train. Wet.
Like you were wet
Now your paws over here.
at the end of that.
Damn, bro. Thank you for
Wait,
all of
hello,
your
hi.
questions.
What?
There's been a caller on hold for the longest time.
Oh,
yeah.
shoot. Okay.
Let's do
Hold
this.
on. Let's not end the podcast yet then.
We got one
Yo,
more.
Irina, how are you? It's Roz Mocha.
Irina.
Good morning.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast. You are going to end it all off with your question. Go ahead.
Oh, fantastic. All right. So my question was, in your opinion, what movie or show murder scene was so realistic that you thought the actor was legit just killed on the show?
Oh.
Great question. Okay, I have an answer, but I want to know from you, Irina, your answer.
Okay, so for me, this was a few years ago, Sons of Anarchy, when Gemma killed Tara.
Spoiler
It
alert,
was-
first of all, for anyone who hasn't
sorry.
watched it. But yes, you're right.
But it was years ago. It was devastating. And I cried for days. Like, my husband and I watched the show in the evening.
Yeah.
And then I had to clean up the kitchen before I went to bed, and I was just bawling. I was so devastated. And it was so realistic. I'm like, oh my God, how did this happen?
Right,
Wow.
right.
Wow.
In the kitchen, right? Oh, man, I remember that scene. That was so bad.
Come back to me.
It was intense.
Yeah, damn it, Maury.
We're doing TV shows or can we do movies?
You can do
Either
movies.
I was
Yeah.
going to say like Saw 1 when he had to when he was in the room, I guess the bathroom or whatever, and had to saw off his leg.
Yeah.
It looked so real.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those movies are so far removed. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Maria, do you have an answer?
Yeah, I think for me, it was when Derek Shepherd died in Grey's Anatomy when they killed him.
That
oh my
was
God.
real to you?
Yeah. With like the brain and the scans, and they were resuscitating him and the surgery, and I was like weeping in my room.
Oh, damn.
Shem, you have an answer?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the curb stomp scene in American History X.
Oh, my God.
With Edward Norton's character where he stomps the burglar. Oh man, that was. Ugh.
That is a horrific scene. They
did a scene like that in one of the seasons of Sopranos. And I don't know how far. I know, Maria, you and your boyfriend are getting through the series right now, so I don't know if you made it to this scene yet. Okay. It's not a spoiler alert, but there is a scene where Tony gets a guy and puts his mouth on like a ledge, and you don't see it happen, but you see Tony lift his leg up, stomp down, and then you hear the sound of like the crunch teeth. And then like teeth like flying across the floor.
No. I would say that there have been a couple of scenes, and I always get weirded out when it's not a murder, but if I'm ever watching a movie where somebody shoots themselves.
Oh, sure.
Right? To me, that is just always like even a fictitious display of gun suicide is always like I find it so unbelievably unsettling. But I think that the one where I had a physical reaction like I was watching an actual murder, maybe because it was so unexpected at the time, was Box Cutter in Breaking Bad.
Oh, great scene.
Like,
yes.
I actually felt sick to my stomach like I had just witnessed a murder. Yeah.
Bro, man, that has to be because there was no speaking.
Nothing.
Right?
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know how many minutes of just like intense, suspenseful music. And then Gus Fring walks up, box cutter style.
Yeah.
And what a great scene.
Yeah. So
it was
that
shot so amazing.
So that for me was one where I don't remember having a sort of physical reaction to a murder scene in a show that was that intense, that stayed with me for as long as that one did.
Speaking of Sons of Anarchy, though, the one where Opie.
Oh, yes, in the
I don't
jail.
want to ruin it. That one just clicked in my head. And that to me, I also bawled.
Yeah, I
Like,
remember that.
That one hit hard.
Yeah.
What
That
is
was a good
what is
one.
what is the movie? What were you going to say, Maury? While I
I
look
was going to
this
say
up?
some of the crimes on Law and Order get me.
Really
But
though,
you don't
they
see
don't, they don't
stuff.
see.
There's been some shootings on Law and Order where you're like, oh my God.
The one scene that sticks out in my mind is, oh man, thank you for bringing up Sons of Anarchy, because now that Opie scene is like replaying in my head. But if anyone watched Casino, there is a scene close to the end of the movie where Joe Pesci and the guy that plays his brother are supposed to meet some of their colleagues out in the desert in like a field. And they get there and a grave has already been dug.
Yeah.
And his colleagues, they turn on Joe Pesci and the brother, and they beat the living crap out of them using aluminum baseball bats. And they first do the most damage to Joe Pesci's brother, and they force Joe Pesci to watch it all happen. And then they take the bats to Joe Pesci.
Yes.
Right? And then they toss them into the grave.
Right.
But like all of this is happening, you see it happening to them. I don't know how they filmed it, if it was like with dummies or whatever, but like they were moving, like they were reacting to all the hits from the baseball bat.
Yeah.
Oh man, brutal. Like that moment sticks out of my mind so crystal
Speaking
clear.
of Joe Pesci and brutal, your thoughts on his violent scenes in Home Alone?
Oh God.
There's a movie, and I was just looking it up here. There's a movie, and not a lot of people saw it, starring Jennifer Lawrence, called Red Sparrow, where she plays a Russian spy.
That's recent, isn't it?
Yeah, within like the last 5 years, I think it is. I thought it was great.
Yep, 2018.
But it didn't do well at all. And there's a torture scene in this movie where they're trying to get information from someone. And we have seen, and especially in like the Saw movies and everything, like you were so used to watching somebody get tortured in a movie that you're almost desensitized to it. But this scene, because it was all spies and they are, doing whatever they have to do with the tools that they can get while inflicting an incredible amount of pain. Mm-hmm. So what they do is they took the person, they cut the leg off of their jeans, and they were sitting in a chair, and what he had was a skin graft machine.
Oh my God.
And a skin graft machine takes off micro layers of your skin. Oh my God. And they were doing this slowly on the person's leg to try and get them to talk.
Yeah.
No, thinner. Like
Thinner
it's
than
a
that?
thin like machine that just shaves off thin layers of your skin. But regardless of how thin it is, like you still bleed.
Yeah.
Right? And then they just keep doing that with this machine. And the scene when you're watching this is unbelievable.
Like cringe.
Like so bad.
Yeah.
Like so brutal.
No, I'm telling you everything.
Yeah.
I'm telling you everything.
Yeah.
What you want to know?
Yeah, I know. Don't even plug it in. Don't even plug it in.
That's the machine you got?
Yeah.
Okay, what you need?
Yeah.
Here's my bank pin.
Yes.
Here's my wife's bank pin. I'll give you everything. You want to know my dad? Yeah. My dad's route to work every single day. That was amazing. Great question. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Hey, Irina, before we let you go, between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Roz.
All right. Thank you for being a part of the podcast today.
All right. Thank you.
But
Bye.
in the scene too, Maury, you're right. It was like when he would shave it off in the scene, he would also pick it up and like wave it in front of their face, like it was a piece of prosciutto. Gabagool, right? Yeah.
So gross. Hey, that was a great episode. Thank you for all of your questions. Thank you for joining us as well. 2 of you will be selected to join us on a future episode of the Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Just look out for the posts that we put up on IG once a week. Ask Roz and Mocha, and load up that comment section with your questions. This has been the Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10
on Kiss 92.5.
Kiss925.com.
Or download the Kiss 92.5 app.